What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall markets. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, not to mention an 8.1% APY on invested cash. The offer ends in just a couple of weeks. Anyways, let's talk about what's happening so far. As a reminder, there's nothing too significant coming out in terms of our data, at least for the rest of the day. However, for SPY, I do want to call out something very important. Now, what happened today was the market attempted to push in the morning, which is what we were expecting. But I said that SPY needs to break past 608, otherwise, there's going to be a risk of a rug pull. And we came just short of 608. We came very close to about 607.5 to reject. So then SPY ended up tipping back down. Now, here's the thing about SPY. Okay, we have a range, and I'm sure you guys could see it right here. As we hit the 602 to 603 area down here, we get bought back up. As we get very close to the 608s, whether we see 609 or 607.5, very close to the 608 range, we tend to reject. So you guys could see we're just in this range right now. And these are what the levels look like, right? So the thing is, we're going to be watching this range to see if buyers defend the 603 area. That's very close to our 4-hour 50 EMA. If they defend it, we could be looking for SPY to get back up to 605. So far, they're attempting to do that. However, if we end up losing 603, our last point of support is going to be at 602. That has to hold. Otherwise, this is going to turn a lot more bearish. There is one concern I do have, and that's the fact that there is a divergence between SPY and the QQQ. The QQQ is breaking all-time highs, whereas SPY was making lower highs. And look at these highs. We had a high here, we came down, made a lower high, came down, made another lower high. So this could signify that there is weakness building on SPY. And if we lose 602, there's going to be a bigger dump coming. So like I said before, guys, we'll just have to see as time progresses. Can we hold 603? We're still testing it right now. If not, if 603 to 602 fails us, there's going to be a risk of quite a bit of downside, and we could be dumping to 600, if not the 598 area. If we truly want to bounce, we need to see SPY reclaim 605, hopefully by Monday. If not, this thing is going to be at risk of dipping lower. We're also spending a lot of time at the lower end of the range, so I am seeing some weakness building on SPY. So we'll just have to see how well we hold up at these levels. Okay, so let's see if 602 to 603 holds. Otherwise, this will be dumping lower. So please keep that in mind. Those are some key levels to watch for. ES has the same thing going on. Now, there's a bit of a downtrend here. We had a high here. We came down. We made a lower high. We came down, made a lower high. The issue with ES is the fact that we have this demand zone that we were talking about, at least in my earlier video. I was expecting a test here. I did talk about that, and that's what's happened so far. The issue is if we lose this on ES, there's going to be a risk of us dipping even lower to about 60.20, followed by potentially even like 6,000 flats. If we lose 6,040, yes, we will dip lower. But the last time we hit this, we did bounce. So we'll just have to see if buyers defend 6,040. If they do, I would like to see it reclaim 60.67. If we do reclaim that, we could try to bounce. Otherwise, we're still technically range bound. We like to get bought back up around the 60.40s, and we tend to reject around the 6100s. So for now, we're in that range, but just know there is that risk of downside if we lose this support. So we're going to be watching this as the day progresses. Now, other stocks like Nvidia are showing some weakness. We got some bad news that came out, and this is rejecting at least thus far. Very weak looking structure. We're going to be looking to see the support right over here around this 131.7 area. If we lose this on Nvidia, there's going to be a risk of us dipping all the way down to 130. So I could see this dip a little bit lower to the 131.7 to 131, just under 132 area. And we'll see if we bounce or not, but just know we might dip a little bit lower, and then we'll see what kind of move we make from there. For others out there, let me just double check this. We have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is stuck in the middle, going back and forth and back and forth. Now, we're trying to hold 99,753 and then 99,054 flats. And we have this resistance around 101,000. So we're stuck in the middle, going back and forth and back and forth. We could attempt to get up to 101,000. We'll just have to see what kind of reaction we get. However, just know Bitcoin is very choppy right now, which is typically what happens during Fridays. So it's not really a surprise. Tesla is range bound because when you look at the 30 minutes time frame like this, you will see that we tend to slow down once we hit the 430 area, but then as we hit either 420 or 415ish, we tend to get bought back up. So that's your range on Tesla. This is like our demand zone down here, and then this is our supply zone. We're just stuck in the middle so far. And I think that Tesla may consolidate around the 420 area. Let's just see if we close above 420 or not. But for now, we are just range bound. There is potential for us to try to break all-time highs because there is a possible inverse head and shoulders forming. As long as we don't lose 414, there is potential for this thing to just consolidate for a bit and maybe break out more next week. But we'll see just to be safe. So please watch your levels very closely. For NQ, we tried to push to new all-time highs. We came just short of 22,000. Then we got this big rejection here. So we want to reclaim 21,750. If we can't do that, there's going to be a risk of us coming down closer to about 21,637. So there's some weakness building on NQ because of that and this bearish divergence that has been developing. You guys can see this divergence on the MACD. However, we haven't lost our critical supports, so there's still hope it could try to hold up. On the QQQ, we were a lot stronger than SPY. There's a big divergence between the QQQ and SPY. And I just want to say that there was also a bearish divergence on this chart itself, and this led to a rejection off 533 all the way back down. So you want to reclaim 529.6 to really have potential to break out. Otherwise, if we can't reclaim the 529s, there's going to be a risk of this rejecting again here, and then maybe even coming back down lower. So we'll see. Just to be safe, if we end up losing 527, we could be dipping back down to this imbalance. But look for a push, and then we'll see what kind of reaction we get. For Apple, we're rejecting here. We'll just have to see if we could hold up. There's going to be a risk of this dipping to about 246. If that fails, let's look for 244. For others out there, we have the IWM Russell 2000. This is on a bit of a downtrend. I do want to call out that there's weakness building on this because when you zoom out, we're losing our channel right here, which tends to signify weakness. We need to reclaim 234, otherwise we're at risk of retesting 232. If that fails us, we dip lower towards 231. So watch that carefully. For a few more, we have Coinbase, which is showing some weakness. We have a gap to fill around 303. If we don't hold 312, we could be dipping lower. Amazon also could dip lower. If we don't hold above 226, there's going to be a risk of us coming back down towards 225 or below. For Meta, we rejected here. If we can't reclaim to 622, we could be dipping all the way down towards the 615 area. So there's a little bit of weakness developing on Meta. Microsoft is also showing some signs of weakness, just like a possible head and shoulders here. It might retest 445. We'll see if it bounces or not. If it doesn't, we could be at risk of coming back down to 443. Like I said before, a possible left shoulder, a head, and then a right shoulder. And then last but not least, we have Google hitting 192. A little bit of weakness here. If we don't hold above 192, there's going to be a risk of about 190 that's coming, and then 188.5. So look for some downside, and then we'll see what happens at least from here. But anyways, I thank you all so much for listening. Please have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Uh, so far, the market is seeing buyers defending the 603 area on SPY, but we'll see if this range holds. So there is potential that we just remain in this range for now, but just be careful because there is some weakness considering the fact that SPY is making lower highs. So if we lose 602, I will turn more bearish. Otherwise, I'm just favoring that we're range bound. I hope that's as clear as possible. Anyways, thank you for listening. Please have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys very soon on my next video in just a couple of hours. Until then, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you, and peace out.